Imagine the Insta360 X3 and the Ace Pro met, fell in love, and had a baby. That's the Insta360 X4. It's here. The Insta360 X4 is out of nappies, all grown up, and out in the world. So join me for my walkthrough of the new flagship consumer 360 camera from Insta360. It's a very significant upgrade from the X3, and I mean the whole package. But do you really need it? I'll help you decide by pointing out the new X4's best features, including, yes, 8K 360 video, how it differs from the X3, and my impressions of how it feels and shoots. I'll finish up with some FAQs to answer some of the questions that may come to mind as you watch this video. Let's get into it. If you're new to 360 cameras, where have you been? Seriously though, these clever little devices allow you to shoot first and reframe your footage for viewing on a flat screen later, or create immersive 360 videos to watch on headsets. The invisible selfie stick makes third-person views so easy, it's like having your own camera crew alongside, getting incredible angles when you go out and shoot, and that stick is nowhere to be seen. And when you're traveling, this adds incredible value to your shots. Add the best flow state stabilization and the AI-powered mobile editing suite and viral shot lab clips for social media, and you can see why the X3 sold in record-breaking amounts across the globe. For more about how 360 cameras work, for background to really understand the improvements in the X4, check out my video in the description. Okay, those are the basics. What does the X4 bring to the party? Well, the answer is a lot. Let's dig into the design and what's in the package first. When you pick up the X4, you can feel the quality of the finish of the build. I do like this textured finish on the back. It feels less likely to slip out of my hand when handling it. If you have an X3, you'll also notice the X4 is quite a bit longer and thicker. This will mean that most of your accessories that rely on the dimensions of the X3 to work won't fit. But your invisible selfie stick, the most important accessory, will work just fine. I'm imagining that there are lots of reasons that come along with the increased capabilities of the X4 that means it has to be larger, including building a bigger, better heatsink as part of that. Now, the first thing that catches your eye, apart from the similar candy bar design following the traditions of the X series of cameras, is that 2.5-inch touchscreen. It's larger than the 2.29-inch screen on the X3, making it even easier to control the camera, select shooting modes, change settings, and see what's going on at a distance at the end of your selfie stick. Even better, the X4 screen is now made with Corning Gorilla Glass for improved toughness to help withstand the toughest of conditions. And speaking of toughness, one of the biggest downsides of 360 cameras is that they come with non-removable lenses that are very vulnerable to scratching, which will ruin your experience and require an expensive repair. And even if you have insurance, it means time away from your camera as it's sent for repair or replacement. The X4, however, comes in a new design that supports removable lens guards for greater flexibility. And they're pretty convenient too. For example, if you're going on a dive trip, you can remove the lens guards before putting your X4 in a dive case. The cool thing is that standard lens guards now come included in the package when you buy the X4. The main purpose of these standard lens guards is to protect your lenses, but if you want better clarity in your images and videos, then you might want to consider premium lens guards that are an optional extra, made from scratch-resistant tempered glass and are highly transparent for crystal clear shots. You can see the little slots for where the guards fit already built into the camera. This is a really nice touch and shows that Insta360 have listened concerning one of the main pain points for users of this kind of camera. I'm betting that it's better for image quality to not have any lens guards at all, but if you want to improve the ruggedness of your X4 and for that peace of mind, it might be a compromise you're willing to make. Anyway, the lens guards options are now better, more convenient, and the standard guards come included in the box. That's pretty good, I think, and something people are going to be happy about. You also get this thermo grip cover that apparently makes your X4 easier to handle if it gets hot, working hard to capture that 8K footage. I'll have to check how that goes once I've had the camera a little longer. Next, let's talk about battery life. I think most people have been pretty happy with the X3 battery life. I know I have been. But the X4's bigger 2290 mAh battery delivers 135 minutes of recording time, a chunky 67% more than the X3. Okay, but what about that 8K capability? How does that affect battery life? Well, Insta360 reckons you can get 71 minutes out of this battery shooting at 8K 30 frames per second, which I think is pretty damn impressive. Now, the X4 has been upgraded from USB-C 2.0 to 3.0, meaning significantly faster data transfer. Using a MacBook Air M1, Insta360 has measured an increase in read speed from 39 MBs to 92 MBs, and increase in write speed from 31 MBs to 61 MBs. Those are significant upgrades in speed when working with your files. But wireless transmission speeds, which have always been a pain point for me, have been increased by a whopping 58% compared to the X3. That's from 19 MBs to 30 MBs, which I think is going to make a big difference. But I'll tell you what's going to make an even bigger difference when we get to the FAQs at the end. Okay, so what's the X4 capable of? First, let's talk about that resolution jump that everybody's been waiting for. Yes, 8K 360 video is here in the Insta360 X4. At 30 frames per second, not only will you be able to create superb quality immersive videos, but reframed videos get a massive upgrade. Instead of being around 1080p for reframed flat videos as in the X3, albeit with excellent image quality, the X4 is a significant bump up to 2.7K for reframed video. If you're wondering how the X4 achieves this, it's not about any increase in the 1/1/2 inch 48 megapixel sensor size or capability. This is all about the sensor processor combination. And the same sensor that's in the X3 is now being paired with the same processor that debuted in the Insta360 Ace Pro. Now this unlocks the sensor to deliver not only this 8K video and the great 2.7K reframed video, but plenty more besides. Let me run down what this melding of the technologies means for the X4. If you shoot in 5.7K mode, you now get 60 frames per second as an option. Now this is really cool and something I think I'll use quite a lot. You can still export reframed footage in improved 1080p image quality, but the higher frame rate means now I can get smoother shots and slow down the footage on a 30 frames per second timeline for half speed slow motion and better slow motion clarity. If you want even slower, you can now shoot 100 frames per second with pretty good clarity and image quality at 4K. That's pretty much 4 times slow motion. Nice. Now for comparison, the X3 had a ceiling of 60 frames per second at 4K 360 resolution. In 360 mode, you get active HDR, helping you to keep your video stabilized as you move while keeping details in the highlights and shadows for more vibrant scenes. This is great for action sports and fast-paced scenes. There's also a great new wider field of view option introduced on the X4, available in the app and on Studio, called Mega View. Think ultra-wide view, but with less warping and distortion at the edges and with better overall image quality. And all the usual aspect ratios are available for you to use too, including 1:1, 9:16, 16:9, 4:3, 3:4, and widescreen 2.35:1:2. Next, let's talk about Me Mode. Also available on the X3, Me Mode records flat videos in up to 170 degrees field of view with the invisible selfie stick effect and no need to reframe. It automatically keeps you centered, and this is incredibly useful if you're doing something like vlogging, something I know I'm getting back into these days, and maybe you too. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll know what I mean. It effectively turns the X4 into a regular point and shoot camera when used with your selfie stick. On the X4, you can get reframed footage at 2.7K at up to 120 frames per second. Okay, what about single lens modes? Just like the X3, the X4 doubles as a wide angle action cam by filming with just one of the lenses. Now this mode has been upgraded from 4K 30 frames per second to 4K 60 frames per second. For an ultra wide 170 degree field of view, shoot in single lens mode and choose the max view option. And bingo, super wide, slow motion, 4K video. And we also get the usual amazing flow state stabilization and 360 degree horizon lock, which we've come to expect from Insta360, and waterproofing to 10 meters or 33 feet right out of the box. and you can get down to 50 meters or 164 feet if you get the invisible dive case too. Okay, a word about audio. There are 4 mics like on the X3, and there doesn't appear to be any significant changes here at first glance, apart from there now seems to be a new auto wind reduction algorithm, which I will test in a future video. I'm assuming that this is an algorithm that only kicks in if there is wind rumble present to try to reduce. All right, this is me walking along in 8K 30 mode on the Insta360 X4. The camera is probably about just under a meter away from me on the action selfie stick, and this is with the auto wind reduction mode switched on. It's only a kind of like a light breeze blowing, so it shouldn't have that much of an impact, but it'd be interesting to see what this sounds like in a little bit of further testing, so stay tuned for that. And there is an adapter to use with external mics too. Again, watch out for my upcoming audio test video. Best subscribe so you don't miss it. Next up, let's talk about special effects and how the X4 is used with the excellent Insta360 App, a new desktop studio which has had a recent major upgrade to v5.0. Check my video here and in the description for that. Now with the app, there are now 3 intuitive and easy ways to edit 360 video. First, the quick edit method enables you to move your phone to frame what you want, use the new virtual joystick, or long press on a subject to activate Deep Track 3.0. The new upgraded algorithm means your movement will look smoother and the clips will be saved immediately on your phone. This is the easiest way to get a manually reframed video that Insta360 have ever managed on the app so far. Now the second method is if you just don't know where to start. Simply tap on what the AI recommends and you're done. And the third method is if you really want to get your hands dirty. You can still add keyframes on the Pro tab, and that gets you an edit exactly how you want it. Ported over from the Ace Pro, you can now get Motion ND. More cinematic shots without using an ND filter thanks to this new Motion ND effect for the X4. And more port overs from the Ace Pro include background downloads while the app runs quietly in the background, leaving you free to use your phone for other things while that footage is transferring. And then there's also cancel recording, timed capture, and the ability to add data overlays to your bike rides and other adventures using your Apple Watch and Garmin data. 360 time lapses are now recorded in an incredible 11K, enabling you to get motion time lapses on a flat reframe with crispy clarity. And 8K time shifts look really good using the X4, and they're incredibly easy to shoot. Just hold a selfie stick, walk around, and use your imagination. Okay, now let me answer some questions that may have come up for you whilst watching this video. What codec does the 8K footage use? It's H.265 by default, meaning better image quality for the same file size. And yeah, about that file size, I thought 8K wasn't possible on 360 cameras because computers couldn't handle the processing. How easy is this? Well, later model phones and Desktop Studio 5.0 that has been recently released can handle these files easily. The Insta360 Studio even allows you to edit using proxy files, making the whole process lighter and easier. Does the X4 still generate 2 files? One for each lens? No. X4 360 Video now generates just one .insv file instead of 2 for more streamlined file management and desktop editing. You no longer have to drag over 2 files from your camera to edit the footage in Studio. Should I get the X4 if I already have the X3? And what about photos? You haven't mentioned those. The answer is yes, possibly. If you're just into 360 photos, there's an argument to stick with your X3. Not much has changed on the X4. But if you're shooting video, it depends on what you want to use that video for. If short vertical videos are your thing, the X3 is still excellent for that. Higher quality landscape videos If they're your thing, then you might really appreciate the premium step up to the X4. I'll have another video answering this question in depth soon, and many more videos about the X4. What else could help speed up my workflow using the X4? With the larger file sizes on the X4, even though the app and ecosystem can handle this well, a quick reader will be even more efficient. So I think if you buy the X4, the quick reader becomes pretty much a must-have accessory to speed up your workflow if you're interested in that. The quick reader enables you to record directly onto your memory card with the X4 and then plug it into your editing device, so long as you purchase the quick reader with the right connector. No more wireless connections or waiting for downloads. This is about as quick a process as you're going to get from mobile editing, and it's wonderful. If you don't want to compromise the waterproof capabilities of your X4 by plugging in the quick reader, or if you've got an external mic connected, then you can always load the SD card into the quick reader after you're done recording and then connect it physically to your mobile editing device. If you haven't watched my best settings for the X4 guide yet, I suggest you go there next, and I'll see you there.